We're going to talk about what we like always talking about, some products and stuff like that. That being said, we're going to get into the show, but what about you? How are you doing, Brand?
I am doing as good as I can be. We got a pool installed Monday. Been trying to get a deck built today. Doing all my stuff around the house. We're getting ready to go on vacation for a week down in.
The vacation's at the
beach.
pool, Brant. Come on.
No, we got to go into the beach. We hadn't been on vacation in 10 years as a family, so we're gonna go to Alabama, Perdido Key. So we'll have a good time. I love the ocean. Former sailor. I miss the ocean. So we're going to go kind of check out for a little bit and then try to come back and get back to work.
When you come to Alabama, you have to pronounce your words a little differently, right?
Arkansas and Alabama is not that different.
I agree. It's not that different. It's not that different.
If we're 50th in the state for something, you're 49th, and if we're 40,
No, in Alabama, we always say thank God for
Mississippi. God for Mississippi. That's right. Hey, I do want to say, shout out. I don't know if you watch NBA Finals at all, but my boy Bobby Portis, on the Bucks, he's a ex-Razorback. They won their game last night, so
that's pretty cool.
Maybe they've won 3 in a row now, so maybe they'll win the whole thing.
Who knows? It's getting close.
Getting close. What have you been up to?
Brent, I have no idea.
Well, you managing your wife and her career. I see she's got stuff every day, and I'm sure you're helping do all those graphics. Those look amazing. Launching her albums and stuff.
What we did? We actually hired a company.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
So there was a company that her
you were too expensive?
Label, yeah, I was too expensive. It wasn't I was too expensive. I was too crabby. Like some days I would wake up and not want to do it.
Right.
So let's just hire somebody. That's what they do. But anyways, her record label had a group, and we saw that they were working really well with some of the other guys, and the price that they were charging was, made sense.
Oh, good.
Let's just let them do it, and they've been doing a great job with it.
Sometimes you just got to know if you can hire it out, more is going to get done, and it's going to save you money in the long run or make you money.
Exactly.
That's the big part.
Exactly. So, I like them. The only thing that I had one issue. We were working with the thumbnail for her next single, and we had to do some, I don't know who's doing their graphics. This is not going to work. So
there you go.
We had to work on some stuff, but.
That's okay. If you know what you're talking about, then you can kind of explain to them what you want. So most people, when they hire somebody, they can't I don't know. I just want it to look good.
Right.
I know you have an aesthetic that you want to hit, so you can probably, whip something up in Canva and say something kind of like this.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted them to do the basics. If they can just get the basics done, we're fine.
Right. That's good.
They were breaking one rule that I didn't like. So, hey, let's just change this.
And what is her? Every time I log or every time I see her post something, I see it going up the chart. Where is she at now?
So she's number 3 on the Smooth Jazz Billboard chart. She did have number 1 media base. So there's so many different charts. We like the Billboard chart. It's just so familiar with people. But, having a number 1 song on whatever chart it is, guess what? It's still a number 1 song.
There you go. Congratulations. Tell her congratulations for me.
Thank you. I'm excited for her. She works really, really hard, and she's got a lot of features on this album of more famous smooth jazz artists. So, we're hoping the other singles we release are just as popular.
That's awesome. Hey, we're getting close on our time, so I don't want to talk through it like we always do.
We got 40 seconds.
Everything else going fine though.
Everything else is going well.
Good.
And we're just not every week is something different. We're just building and trying to get better at what we do.
Right. Same thing here. Everybody's summer is getting kind of in the mid. We're getting ready to start school pretty soon, so everybody stay healthy and safe. I know we're watching the COVID numbers here in Arkansas. Every time I turn on the radio, I turn on NPR, I turn on NBC, they're talking about Arkansas and how bad we're doing with our vaccinations. So hopefully we'll make it
Alabama too. Alabama as well. Check this out. I'll see you in a second. Brad, who else does that? Who talks through a countdown? Like, how did they even come up? Like, who would want to do that?
We're a little informal,
We're a whole lot informal.
We don't have like production floor managers counting us down, pointing us in, So we do the best we can.
Yes,
that's one thing about it. If you use Ecamm, here's one thing you can do to stay on track is that is an automatic countdown that automatically plays the next scene, which is our open. So that's a forced for us. So we can't just keep talking. It's going to go, it goes. So that keeps us on track, though.
It does keep us on track. And for everybody joining in today, thank you for joining the stream show with Strick and Brant, the stream guys. We have a great show for you today. This show is, we're talking about setups, your live streaming setups. I kind of like doing this, Brant, like when we go through some of our friends' setups because they look so professional. They're doing such great jobs out there with their presentation. I want to see what they're doing.
And everybody does something just a little bit different. And every time I can borrow borrow a little bit of what they're doing.
I say steal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, it's one of my great sayings, and I don't know if it's real or not, if it's urban legend, but I was always told that Picasso said, good artists borrow, great artists steal. So, take from everybody else, make it your own, but sometimes it's like, they do something a little different that makes it easier. It looks a little better, or sounds a little better. So you just take that from them and put it in your tool chest.
And that's what we're going to do today. We have two guests. We're going to start with, this guy we met. I don't know if you met him before. I did, but it was really on Clubhouse that we had a chance to meet DJ Mastermind. Do you remember him on Clubhouse?
Yeah, I met him before that probably because he was part of our, doing the Vlogmas and all that other stuff. And we got connected because we both like gaming. So he does a lot of great streaming. I know he's a video producer and he does remote production. So he has all this production background, that's what he does for work. And then during COVID, he just ramped that all up to do all of the streaming. So I'm excited to see what he's going to show and how he's making it all work, now.
So let's bring him on to the stream show for the first time. Chris Giles. Chris, man, how are you doing?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up,
man?
Hey, man, you're on the stream show.
Hey, I'm excited, bro. I was telling everybody, I made it now, guys.
There you go.
Yep. We made it. We had DJ Mastermind, so he's on our show, so we're excited. And Strick was like, "Oh, we're having Chris on. Chris." I'm like, "Who? I don't know who Chris is." He's like, "DJ Mastermind." Oh, yeah, I know DJ Mastermind. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
Hey, man, it's such a blessing to have you on. You do so much in the streaming industry and recording all of that. Like right now, I know you're doing a lot of Amazon Live. Is there anything else that you're doing with gaming right now that people should know about?
Bro, I had to put gaming on the side, man, because the Amazon Live just started picking up, and it threw me into a whole nother business venture that hopefully it'll pay for the gaming stuff, so I can just do that for fun, man. So, but yeah, that's the main thing now, man.
So Amazon has just got going. Go ahead, Brant.
Well, explain to some people that they're watching and they're watching the replay of this and they don't understand what Amazon Live is. Give us a quick breakdown of what Amazon Live is.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, look, the quick and easy is if you know QVC or HSN, you're already watching that. Amazon Live is that, but for the digital age. So it's only available, online or on your phone, on your app. But it's that. It's selling anything that's on Amazon. I can talk about it. For me, it's always tech stuff, gaming stuff, computers, all that. And then getting that commission that if you're an Amazon associate for a lot of the creators out there, you're already getting that kind of money anyway. But now this is the way to talk directly about that. So, man, it's just been a eye-opening. It's only been open for a couple years. And so, but it's kind of like, imagine YouTube, 10 years ago. This is that right now. So excited about that.
That's awesome.
That's cool. And way to get in on the front end, right?
Yeah, man. I got to shout out Monty Weaver. I got into a YouTube class for him, and he was like, hey, just check this out real quick. I ain't even been on my YouTube channel in who knows how long messing with Amazon Live, man.
Wow. And you're seeing the returns for the time that you're putting into it.
Oh, man, absolutely. Because, the brand deal side is honestly it, right? Everybody kind of, if you're already a creator, you already kind of know the Amazon associate thing, right? You're like, oh, you're not going to get rich from it, right?
Right.
But the brand deals, all the brands that sell on Amazon. Now imagine anything that's on Amazon, any of the gear you use in your room, the kitchen, the stuff in the kitchen, the couch. I mean, all that is available for sale. You can sell it and get a commission off of that. And then talk to them and say, hey, I'd rather just promote your specific product and get a brand deal on the back end, you know?
So let me be honest, Brant, that was the piece of the pie we were missing. Like when we talked about it, we was like, dude, you know, this percentage is kind of low. Like I would be on there 24/7 trying to make some money.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, I kind of was like, nah, you know, it seems like the percentages are so super low. But I don't even know that, and there is some cap, right, to get accepted, because I don't even think I have enough followers to get accepted right now to the program.
Yeah, man. You know how they do, man. They're new, so they always moving the goalposts. I mean, like I got in pretty easy, and then it seemed like as more people started getting on, they started raising it, because I think it got pushed to about 2,500. And you could choose your channel, whether it's YouTube, Instagram. I think they actually removed Twitter.
Gotcha.
But it's, I think, a Facebook group or Facebook page that has about 2,500. You can slide in there.
That's
Man,
cool.
We better start getting some followers.
I know it, right? Start ramping up. That being said, you look good tonight. You've worked on it. We want to go down the gamut. We always start with audio first. Can you actually tell us what you're using and kind of show us around your studio?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So first, I mean, the mic, and I'll show you on a different shot, but the mic I'm using is Mayono. It's actually a company I met on Amazon Live, one of the first brand deals I did on there. And this particular mic, I'm an XLR guy. Like I'm an audio guy by trade. That's where I started. So I don't like USB mics personally. Not that they're bad, not any of that. It's just I'm a purist. I need to have an XLR, some analog signal. So this particular one right here, you'll kind of see. That's the Mayono mic that I use. They sent me a bunch of other ones, so I get to try out a bunch of their stuff. And then honestly, watching a lot of you guys, had to be like you and go ahead and get that Rodecaster Pro.
Man, that Rodecaster is something else, man. I've been playing with it. Oh my God, I love it.
Bro, had to do it, man. Had to do it. I don't even use half of what it does, man, but I had to jump on that bandwagon.
Even the little stuff makes a difference, right?
Oh, bro, because I use it in Clubhouse now. Like there's a room that I do with a guy, like a business room, and I'm his, official DJ. Like I'm there every morning, 5 days a week. I'm doing the sound effects. I put some clips together for it. It's almost like a radio show. So, I mean, this thing
very good.
Makes it easy,
Right. That's cool. So you got this beautiful shot tonight. Tell me what camera you're using and your lens.
Oh, man, you already know Sony gang over here. That
A6100. Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Don't be sorry, man. These things, let me tell you, these look, if I could show you how not bright my lights are in this studio and how much darkness this picks up, man, it'll be crazy for you. But
wow.
the 16 millimeter lens, kind of everybody got, so you can get that good bokeh going.
Right. And you say this was a 6100?
Yeah, the 6100.
I like it. I liked it with the 16 millimeter. That's cool, man. I can tell it's nice and crisp. The focus is on. Great job. So when we talk about the picture, we got the camera and the lens. Of course, now your lighting is important, how you have that set up. So tell us about your lighting setup.
Man, I should have pulled one off to show you guys, but if I kind of show you here, what I did is I went with LED panels. Because they take up less room. So I literally just have one on each side. And then if you kind of see right there, I actually found these. It's kind of darkening out, but I got those. Those ones back there were like $60, and I originally bought about 4 of those because they not only do the white light or the warm amber light. It's all 360 degrees of color, so I can color my background and all that with it. So I have 4 of those, so I can take them on the road and shoot whatever I need to shoot. So.
Is that what you have around the walls as well?
Yeah, that's what I have. So back there, man, I actually, another brand deal, right? The ones that are on the wall, the color lights that you see are actually by Govee. So they're actually some little color bars, and they're probably, $60-70 a piece, and some LED strips around the desk. And so I went ahead and they sent it to me. I did a couple streams about them, and we're good to go. So I was like, I'll install them in the studio.
I love it.
Wow.
Brant, I know you have something to say about the lighting setup.
No, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, I would think I need to start getting on that Amazon, but I don't think I can make the connection to it because of my followers. But, it's always good to do brand deals and get some of that, the lighting and things you have at no cost, so you can experiment and get your lighting up. You said take on the road, so you do some stuff on the road too?
Just for me, honestly, just from right now when I travel. So if I want to stream while I'm on the road, that was one of the big things for me is if I'm away for a week, especially on the gaming side when I was doing a lot of gaming streaming, I didn't want to not game for a week. So I need to make sure I had the lighting to go and all that. And that's kind of how I got into the smaller stuff to make sure I can roll with it.
Well, we can't go anywhere without talking about one of the techniques he's just used with his lighting to bounce it off the wall, Brant. That is that's really smart. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can bounce it off your wall, bounce it off your ceiling. That's an old trick, especially if, like one of our other guests was showing, just the white light from their monitor helps, fill in some light here. But, I think that's awesome. So do you take the whole setup, the camera and everything with you when you go, or do you just use your laptop, or how do you do it when you're traveling?
I bought a second phone, so I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Man, I slap that thing on a stand and keep it moving because, come on, the camera's in your pocket or stronger than half the cameras out there.
The best camera you have, you carry it around in your pocket. That's right. Well, man, you're giving away a lot of keys today for people. I know my takeaway with the lights is just a secret that people don't often use, whether it's right in front of you bouncing off the wall or actually bouncing the light off of your ceiling, and that's to make the light a little softer on you. And, man, it is majorly working. And if you're actually touring and you're being mobile, your phone is the best camera to have while you're moving out. I was actually doing some church work, and I was using my camera that I have here, taking it off and taking it to the church and filming, because everybody wanted that great bokeh I was able to get out of it, right? And then I started using my phone. 4K. I was like, okay, the bokeh's not there, but this picture is great.
4K though.
Yeah, one thing I like. Another thing that I'm pulling out of this is what everybody should notice is, like, for us, if you're going to do it with your gaming or you have a show like we do, or you're doing the Amazon, you're trying to keep a schedule, right? And so people can find you. So if you're going to go live at 10 o'clock every Wednesday, and you have, this is your side gig, your side hustle, and you travel for work, or you're going to be on town vacation, you need to think about how are you going to keep the show going when you got to go to grandma's for Thanksgiving, on a Sunday when you're supposed to do the show. So that's awesome that you put that much planning into it. So everybody should probably, make you a mobile rig that can take, it doesn't have to be the same setup. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you should be able to continue your show if something happened.
Oh, man, absolutely. That's what, man, I'm looking at the mics you guys have, because those are the MV7s, right? They do USB or XLR? Yeah. And so that's what I have to take something like that on the road, so I don't have to take, I'm not going to take the Rodecaster if I don't have to. So I'll get I got a couple USB mics from Mayono back there, too, that I'll throw in the bag and go, man. So
perfect. Perfect.
That flexibility.
Perfect. I love it, Chris. Hey, hold what you got right now. I want to bring my guy Ash up really quick. Ash has been hanging out in the background. Now I have him on. I wanted to get you as soon as possible before you went to sleep on us over there. Ash is over in the UK hanging out. Man, tell me what time it is over there again.
We're 20 past 12, sorry.
It doesn't matter what time it is. We're going to let you just find a book that you can read for about 30 minutes, and we'll just do that for the rest of the show.
Sounds good to me.
Check him out. Check him out, man. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Of course, we met on Rob Balasaba's show, and you came on one day. It's like, man, I like this guy. We got to have him on the stream show, and we finally had a chance to do it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I didn't know if it was going to be possible, to be fair, because we're back and forth, because of the time difference. But I'm really, really excited to be on.
Well, we appreciate you staying up late for us, because it's exciting to have, when we do have people from all over the world that watch, and it is hard, when you start doing this to get on the right time zones with everybody. But we sure appreciate it.
We definitely do. And just like Chris, you have a great setup, and of course you use it for your business. You're a branding coach. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. You can say it, you can call it whatever you want, Strick, mate. It's absolutely fine.
Hey, I'm saying that because I'll make up stuff off the top of my head. I'll call you a branding cheerleader, and apparently you're not a branding cheerleader. You're a branding coach. Like, I want to be sure I get it right.
Yeah, that's right.
And you use your setup. I've seen you go live on LinkedIn, doing interviews and all other kind of stuff, making sure that you're still building your branding, helping people. And I love what you do. And I would love to see, have our fans see your setup as well.
Yeah, sure. My setup is nowhere near as elaborate as Chris's. Like Chris's one is epic. I've just been sat here going, God, I need to up my game. So that's really cool. I'll show you what I've got though. Do you want me to go through audio first?
Yeah, let's do audio first.
Let's audio.
Yeah, let me just try and switch the camera. Very similar, to be fair. Oh, there we go. Very similar to you guys. I use a Rode Pod mic. Only because I bought it when I bought the Rodecaster
There you
Pro.
go. You gotta have that Rodecaster Pro.
I mean, I'd be lost without it, to be completely honest with you. Like
I
as a podcaster,
understand.
because as a podcaster, that was like the first thing. So I got this because I did have a Blue Yeti, which I would absolutely not.
Right.
Awful. I found them terrible. So that was anything I could get that worked with it. But I do want what you guys have. I want your microphone.
That's what's up.
That's on my wish list.
We got to work on that for you, Ash.
Yeah. So that's the audio. What else you guys want to know?
So from after the audio, let's look at the camera you're using with the lens.
Yeah, so to be completely honest with you, I just use a Logitech Brio right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've just have two. So this one here is a Pro, and so is the main one that I use, which I'll swap to now, which is just my Brio. The only reason why I use it is I did have, I've just bought an A10 Mini, so I'm ready to I'm going to upgrade, but it was just not on the list.
Upgrade for what, Ash? Why would you upgrade? Like if you got a Brio looking like that, like why spend the money, man? It looks great.
I think because what I want to do when I go live, what I use my live streams for is for effectively, as well as like going live, the main majority I use is for like one-off recordings, so like you go live, they're a finished edited product at the end of the live stream, and my background is in performing, so I'm happy to I can ad-lib quite fine, but I don't like the lack of camera angles.
I get it.
So and I don't have a Mac at the moment because I need to get Ecamm, but that's a long old story for a whole.
And we can help you with that as well.
No, you can. But yeah, so I've bought the A10 Mini. Didn't realize it didn't work with Logitech Brios. And then I was chatting with Doc, and he was like, "Well, it does, but you're better off just buying, two DSLRs." So that's what I'll be doing.
Brent, what do you think, man? I'm like, I understand as you get into the business, you want more and you look more. You want to be professional as things are coming in. You want to upgrade, but man. Ash.
Well, I think it looks great. One thing that I really like about it, which really, and when I see you go live or I see through YouTube and I see your shows, it's your background. You got the content marketing 101. You got the sound, pads. I mean, it looks like a professional studio. You got the clapboard in the back, some Pokemon stuff. It looks really, really good. And so I think a lot of that, people have to understand that lighting and design and some other things can take care, can up your game over, I think too many people focus on bokeh, right? Because if you had this really depth of field bokeh, I couldn't see that Pikachu, and I couldn't see content marketing and, in focus, which, I come from news, TV, so everything's supposed to be in focus, So I'm not a big on all that, but I understand if you're wanting camera angles. I have just one camera set up now because I've been doing some field production with my other camera, but I like to have two, especially when I'm by myself. You can switch and make a point to somebody and move to another camera, and I think that's great. One thing I would like to anybody that's watching is say, don't just start, right? If all you have is a web camera, obviously Ash has web cameras and he's doing a great job.
Looks good.
And I seen Elgato came out with a new camera last week or this week. I think it was last week. For $200, it's 1080 Elgato webcam that looks pretty interesting as well. So, don't just use what you got, right? I mean, if you're going live and you do a podcast too, right? So, how much of What was first, the streaming or the podcast, or you do it in unison, or how does that go?
It's all it's all in unison. So I started off originally. It was really weird. Like when I started doing it, the businesses and the way I did it, it started off as a live stream every morning on a Facebook group I built, and then everyone kept saying, "Well, you should, do a podcast." And I did that. I did the audio only podcast. It did all right, and then it really took off. It was never intended. I'm a video guy. I like making video. My background is theatre. So I was like, absolutely, the podcast took off. I focused, I doubled down on the audio. I bought all the right audio stuff and then ended up getting all of the sound, the soundproofing. We spent money building this studio. So this is a separate unit outside. So that was where the money went in. And then I decided at that point, I'd rather do all of it together. So now my show is Content Marketing 101 and I live stream my podcast, but I live stream it as a video podcast because I just think we spend too much time. I didn't want to spend my life sat in this studio making content where I could just set up everything, reduce friction, do it every single day, and live streaming, in my opinion, I'm yet to be yet to be kind of proven that live streaming is not the best option, in my opinion.
Right,
if you understand, like stuff like Ecamm, like I've been chatting with Doc about, like the stuff with Ecamm, like why would you ever, if you spend a bit of time up front investing in understanding how to use the software and things, yeah, like you don't ever have to like put something through editing again, in my opinion, if you spend enough time. So yeah, that's kind of my take on live streaming with the gear and stuff.
So you completely just rip the audio in the audio and the video is the same thing. So it's the same show. That's interesting.
It's the same show and I put it everywhere. Like it goes.
There you go.
I live stream it it's every morning, UK time, 8 a.m. I live stream it to Facebook, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch. I mean, everywhere. The people tell you not to do this, but it works. And then I'll upload it to YouTube. I don't live stream it to YouTube because it looks like an upload and I don't want them to know that it's live, even though it is live. But then it gets uploaded to YouTube. It gets uploaded. The audio gets uploaded to my podcast, and then it gets uploaded to IGTV, and it also gets transcribed into a blog, and then obviously all backlinked to all of the relevant places, and that's all done in like 1 hour. So I do that 7 days a week.
Wow.
Now you doing all that? You doing all that editing and stuff, or do you have a team that works with you that helps?
Just me. I just do it myself.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I need to know like how you work out to do that, brother, because that's the hard part. Like the editing and uploading to all those different places, man. That's really the hard part.
I think it's the process, and it's like with you guys with the stream show, none of this would be possible without streaming. Like none of it.
Right. You're right.
And and we've even held off putting the audio on. I set up an Anchor account to do when we very first started the show, and we've held off from putting up the audio only because we felt like, do we need to make it different? Do we need to talk about something else?
This is perfect. I was like laughing so much at you guys' intro in a good way. Like, oh my God, this is such a good podcast. Like, so this is, I think we get too precious about it. I think we get too.
And I do think, what you've done is you've got rid of the preciousness. And I appreciate that because I think we all say, well, I got to do this and I got to be right. And is it, I'm a brand guy too, and sometimes I get fogged with my own, does it need to have its own URL? Do we need to start a new page? You just get just do it. Just get out there, push it out,
I think one thing that because obviously I have two podcasts. I have an interview show and then I have like a solo one. And the interview show, I have amazing people on there. And I'm very lucky and blessed to have these guys come on the show. The problem with that though is everybody has been successful, but they all do different things. And so you're just getting all this bombarded of information. And I just looked at the data, and every YouTuber I had on the show, like Nick Nimmin, I had like Owen Video, all of them have been like, no, you need to edit. You should be doing this. And I did that. And for 7 months, I watched as all of my analytics on everything bar YouTube, because I wasn't a YouTuber and I'm just getting into it. Just all started to drop off a cliff. And I was like, well, when I'm not thinking and this is what I say to anyone who's out there, when you're just creating and you're just doing, sometimes it's analysis paralysis, where you just start getting, sometimes the best thing to do is just make every single demographic, every single lead, just disappeared because I got in my head. Whereas all of a sudden, when I started making again, purely like not being precious, it took off again. Wow. It's funny how it's connected, and I've had that with all my clients. Same thing. So it's not me. I totally
agree. Just, yeah. I mean, I think sometimes we stop some. Like we have how we shouldn't talk about that because we're a stream show. We're not an entrepreneur show. We're not. Let's not do this because we're not that. I just. If you look at somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk, it's just random thoughts every day, just a lot of it, right? And and it really loud. But of course, I know he has a team and all that stuff. But I agree. I think we probably overcompensate for stuff. Sometimes it's the little weird bits that people like the best. You can work. You got it all formulated. You're doing all the stuff you're supposed to do, but everybody's remembering this little, one-off thing that you said, and you went down a tangent, and they love the show because of that, right? And sometimes you have to listen to your market. You have to listen to what the people are wanting, not what you want to put out in the world, right? Because I think that happens sometimes too.
Hey, let's do this really quick because I want to bring Chris back on, but in order to get that picture you have, Ash, man, you got to have some killer lights in there. Can you show us the lighting setup that you do have?
Yeah, sure. So the lighting setup that I have, I use, again, it was just some cheap lights on Amazon. Similar, I think they're probably UK based, but they're very similar to what Chris had. Let me swap over to the other thing. And then literally I just created like a basic like 3-point light system.
There you go.
So you got just one there, one over that angle there, and then literally just one behind me on a tripod.
I love it. I love it.
I love all the sound
foam.
It.
Tons of sound foam and loads of Star Wars stickers. That was all I'm obsessed with is Star Wars. But like, that was they're the cheap. Do want the Elgato ones, like that's the goal. But again, it was focusing on for me. It was focusing on the road and audio first, and then we'll branch out from there.
So let me ask you this question, and I'm gonna bring Chris on while I ask this question to you. As you're thinking about Ash going to the next level with your setup, what is it that you want next? You're saying, hey, I'm thinking about this. You said more angles, more than the two you have, I guess. What would you really want it to be, like, in your studio?
And, like, the goal, and to be fair, I'm probably not far off pulling the trigger on it. I just have to get around to it. The goal would be, like, get rid of the PC, get onto, onto Mac, full, because that's a long story in its own thing. Full Elgato lighting system, 2 Canon M50s, maybe 3, I think, depending on the angles. Like, I want it to be like, it sounds silly, but like the most over the top studio.
Okay, I get
like
it.
A spaceship,
I get it.
You just
There you go.
Change everywhere.
I get it. Yes, sir. I do completely understand at that point. When you say you want it to be over the top, yes, sir. Once you get to a certain level, and Chris, I'm going to ask you this question as well. Once you get to a certain level and you decide, hey, I like what I have right now, I want to upgrade, because you just like, why do you want to upgrade? Because I want to upgrade. I completely get it. Chris, what about you? What are you looking to add to your setup?
Hey, look, man, first I was about to say a couple Sony A6100s, but, now that I know Ash just using Brios, I'm like, I'm just get a couple of them. Because I was like, how he make it look like that?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You know how many lights I would have to have in here to use that Brio? He's looking good.
The same thing.
I don't know why.
I mean, that's it. Look, I'm
pure luck.
One thing it would be when you do get a Mac and you can use Ecamm, you could add LUTs to those Brios and really make them pop too. So, there's a lot of that kind of stuff you could do. But yeah, man, and he'll have 2 extra cameras. He got top down, behind the scenes, up in the ceiling. You will have your spaceship. Keep your Brios handy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can mount them up in the corner. That'd be amazing.
There you go.
Exactly. So, Chris, what about you? What are you looking to add?
But definitely, I mean, like same thing. Honestly, cameras. That's my one downfall is because, like I showed you, the camera I was using was the C920, and I just can't get a great picture. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been working with Sony so long that I'm like, it doesn't look the same. Gotcha. So like, I want another camera to give another decent look so I can do top down shots. Because when I'm doing the product stuff on Amazon Live, I'm like holding it in front of me, trying to show it. So I can definitely use more cameras. And it, honestly, get a space so I can soundproof it, because I don't know if you guys can hear my kids right outside the door, but like I'm streaming all the time and they're just running. Okay, I can hear them in my mic coming in my ears.
No, you're cool, man. We love the kids. No worries at all.
Yeah, I'm like Ash. I've got a building away from the house, so I'm a little bit lucky, but I'm kind of bare. I want all that sound foam, and I need to redo the background. I got all, after we do this show enough, you see I'm at these notes of, man, I gotta catch up. Everybody's got all this cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Ash got me wanting to go put the kit lens back on so I can actually like show my background. I'm like, you can't see, like you said, I got all these little posters and signs, but you can't read them unless I, move. So it's like,
right.
Yeah. And that's good. Like me and my wife come from traditional broadcasting, and we're watching the NBA finals, and now they have a guy on the floor with a DSLR with major bokeh. So they'll do these interviews, or they'll go up into the stands. And it just throws me off because I'm not used to that in that setting, right? Because I want to see the whole crowd, So I'm having a hard time getting used to that. So, but I know they're saying there's somebody at ESPN like, well, all the streamers are doing the bokeh. We're going to do the bokeh. So sometimes, if you really want that look, it's great, but don't let it make or break your going live.
That's definitely true. And they're making, like, football did it this year. The same thing with the bokeh. I think it was the Super Bowl, and it makes it look like the games to me. So it looks more like 2K or almost looks like Madden, because Madden does that look that kind of blur out the background. So I get it.
Yeah, I got you.
So, Ash, I don't know if you know Chris, and Chris, I don't know if you know Ash, and both of you guys are doing some major things in your particular lanes. Have you ever thought, Ash, about the Amazon Live, or do you have any questions about what Chris is doing as he is going that direction in his business?
I mean, I've people have been talking about it, but I don't even know. Honestly, Chris, I have no idea what it is. Like, I hear people talking about it, and I do this all the time in our streams with Rob. Like, I feel ignorant because I don't know, and then I just sit quietly going, "Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely. I completely agree with what you guys are saying. I have no idea what you're talking about." So, I mean, like, I was super interested by it. So, like, is it literally just a platform that you can, like you said, like a selling platform? Because that to me is mind blowing.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like, that's why I was like, I try to keep it simple, because like everybody's like, man, but what is it? It's HSN, but you can do it from your house, and you can literally, like, honestly, the first stream that we did before, before brand deals, before talking to people and all that, I literally looked around my studio and I picked up things that weren't plugged in. I put them in the carousel and said, hey, this is a great item. This is why it's great. You should buy it. And they click on it. They buy it. And so, a lot of people that are familiar with the Amazon Associates program, you get the 24-hour cookie. So it doesn't even matter if they buy the thing I was talking about, right? It matters that their wife went in their account and bought groceries after the fact, and I get that commission anyway.
Oh, so, I got it.
Yeah. Wow. And the study, honestly, is if you guys check out like Far East, like Asian countries, like in China, and they're doing the live sales thing. Like, it's humongous over there. And so Amazon is really jumping on the bandwagon of this. They're like, hold on, they're doing it over there. Let's start it in America and see if we can be the forerunner. Because I even had the opportunity to do it on Alibaba. And it was just like,
I remember that. How'd that go?
Man, it was cool. It was a cool experience, because how many people can say, I've been on Alibaba, right?
Right.
And so it was really, I did it because I was like, oh, let me just put it on a resume, and people can ask exactly what you did. Oh, that's cool. It's nothing different from what I was already doing on Amazon or doing anywhere else. I'm talking about product live. So it was pretty cool, man.
It's a game changer. Like, I can't believe that. Like, one thing I wanted to say, like, I don't think it's here in the UK yet. I don't know if that's available in the UK yet. That's the only thing. I don't think it is. Yeah, but that's insane.
But we got people in our group, man, that are honestly from overseas, and all they do is set up an American Associates account. Yeah. And they'll still stream about it because you can still set up your UK the associates
Store?
page.
Associates
like the
page.
storefront or whatever, where they can link and get stuff that's available, because there's Canadians on it that I know. Like, it's crazy.
My question is, I don't know, how do I watch it? And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't just like pop up when I'm on Amazon because I don't see random videos. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So if you wanted to go directly to it, it's like Amazon.com/live or something like that, right? But that's our biggest complaint as creators on there, right? Is they don't make it easy yet
To find you.
Be found, right?
Discovered.
But
right.
the way that we're actually discovered is if I'm talking about the Elgato Stream Deck, right? And I put it in my carousel, I can actually show up on the Elgato Stream Deck page. So Ash goes on Amazon and he's just looking at the Amazon. He goes, "Oh, what's this video down here?" It's me live talking about it. And so that's really how you're like building the views and getting people to click on stuff, because people are already shopping. And so it's
so when I go down and look, so if I go down and look for reviews or something, there's a video, you might be live
right there.
and then and if I watch you, then if I buy something for 24 hours, you get that credit.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely, man.
That's mad. Have you noticed then? Does that then drive any growth to any other platforms for you? Do you find that that's mad? Because surely they're just organic. That person, I click on there, I don't know who you are. I click on it, you come up.
Exactly. And so the one thing we've been having a problem with, honestly, is there's no crossover. There's no real big crossover unless your content on your other platform is like Amazon specific, because there's people on there that I know, hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and Instagram and all that. And they're having a hard time getting them to come over to the Amazon Live page. And so once it was like, you know what? I'm going to just do Amazon Live, and then I'm going to do my TikToks, and I'm going to get brand deals on both sides and make money on both sides. Then it's like, oh, okay, that's easy. Let me not think too hard about the thing. Like you were saying, get started and do it.
So how about the part of, okay, you're a full-time creator, or you're a creator, let's say that. And the part of being a full-time creator and a QVC / Amazon Live salesperson, like how did you put that into, I guess, one of your titles? Hey, I'm an Amazon Live guy. Like, this is what I do as well.
Honestly, what made it easy is just like we're doing right now, talking tech. That's all I'm doing over there. And man, honestly, somebody was on there shopping for their stream setup, and I was again, same thing. I was talking about Elgato something, because I just personally love Elgato. You know, shout out Elgato, send a brand deal. You know,
right.
But like, I'm just talking about, and they're like, hey, you know what? Do you do this for money? Like, can I pay you to do live stream stuff? And I'm like, absolutely, why not? And she's like, cool, I won't buy any of this stuff. I'm gonna just call you. So
you go.
It's that, like, it's just talking about what I know. I live the tech, and this is what I do in day in and day out, you know.
How often are you on? Like, what's your schedule?
Man, so that's the crazy part. Now, honestly, I've only been on like once a week now. When I was heavy at it, I'm talking 4 or 5 days a week for, you know, an hour to 2 hours. But honestly, that's what I was talking about. It kind of moved into a whole different deal, where because I started getting brand deals and people started asking me about it, I ended up cutting a deal with another network that they have creators that just need help getting brand deals. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll take a cut of that and I'll go get the brand deals for them. And so I've been spending so much time on that project that it's kind of like, oh, I need to stream it so I can get my own deals, you know?
Wow. I love it. Ash, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
That's going.
That's like, my mind is blown with this. I think it's awesome. Like, I can't get my head round.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on, Brian, what are you going to say?
Well, I just want to know, we heard from Chris, but I also have I help a lot of people, creators and stuff too. How do you, Ash, you know, in your lane, how are you making money with streaming and podcasting, and how does that all, you know, turn out to be what you do as full time? Yeah,
sure. Yeah. So I have a podcast. The podcast drives leads. It's kind of top of funnel for me. And then how I actually make money is purely by one-to-one consulting from high ticket coaching or coaching consulting. I mean, I'm a big keyword guy, so the reality is people like the word coach. I am a consultant, but the word coach seems to get people fired up. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll call it a coach if that ranks me higher. But yeah, like, I use my content, which is to drive through to a nurturing sequence, and that's kind of top level content that drives me through to a consulting one-to-one package, which I set the business up in the beginning of lockdown, and it's been blown away by how successful it's gone. I mean, in the speed that it took off, purely because of just making my goal was to just make more content than anybody else. A bit of a Gary V approach. Like I was like, I'm going to be that one weird guy that, like, when Gary V says it, you know what I mean? Like, I remember my goal. Someone said to me, "What's your goal?" And I was like, I want you to unfollow me to the point where you now, when you need me, you're like, oh, there's only that one guy. There's only that one guy that can do it. And that was the UK, you know.
So as long as you're, like you said, you stream everywhere, you go everywhere, you do everything, as long as it point to the top of your funnel, you don't care.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
like
very
100%.
good.
And people don't like that.
Creators or like the companies that need the like branding. How's that work for you?
So my background is I've got a very weird background, but I had a financial services business as well before abandoned when COVID hit. So my first original clients were all in financial services, which was great because they had a lot of money and no idea what they were doing. So that was like a really good niche. And at the beginning, but I kind of made a decision. You know, at the beginning of COVID, my wife was pregnant. We needed to get this off the ground. The business really took off, and because of my following in the finance industry, it really worked. However, I kind of had a decision where I was like, look, if my life is going to be working with people in finance forever, like, I just do not want to do that. So I've made the shift. That's how I obviously met you guys, is because I've made the shift to interview more creatives, because I'd like to work with more creative businesses solopreneurs. I've been in corporate before. I can't stand it. So the long run is that I don't take any more financial people on.
Gotcha.
Because they just don't really. And also the problem is when companies have a lot of money, they don't value it in the same way, because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's really good, and then they just don't do the work. You know, the best way I could relate it to is like having a personal trainer, and then like they're wondering why they're getting fat. Right. But they're eating Domino's pizza every week, you know, and going but turning up to their session. So
I don't know about the UK, but in the US, financial services are so much regulation. It's hard to do a lot of stuff online. I mean, you know, I have friends that are, you know, they can't do anything. I mean, they want to have a show, they want to do live, but they got to get it, you know, whatever company they work for, it's got to get approved, and they just don't touch social media. They just like,
that's actually how I got successful, was because I actually had a financial services business. I was a mortgage broker.
I get you.
But my background originally is performing arts, theatre, musical theatre, and I just thought, you know what, I'll rather ask for forgiveness instead of permission from the regulators. And I started making daily content around how to buy a house, and it blew up, and I did that for a number of years. And that was when COVID hit. I'd already had an audience that in that space I was quite well known, because I was the only guy probably dumb enough to do the videos. But I always had a get out clause. I was always going to try and use it. I was just, you have to maneuver your way out of it. But it is superly regulated. But it kind of positioned me to be one of the only guys that knew how to navigate the regulation.
Well, that's good. Hey, that's one thing I'd like to point out. That's something to pick out. I think a lot of people will start. You know, I talk to a lot of guys who are like, man, I made my career doing camera reviews, and I hate doing camera reviews. I need to pivot, you know, and they get scared. But obviously you can, right? You've nurtured your group. You can do it. You don't want to do it on a dime, you know, turn on one day and you're doing something totally different. But, you know, you can start, you know, if you are a creator out there, and you need to give yourself some flexibility if you're getting into this game, because you're super passionate about it and that's all you're going to talk about. But I talk to so many, especially like high-level YouTubers, they're like, I'm so overdoing this topic, but I can't, because that's where all my money comes from.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that the one thing I would give on that, I try and say this when I'm working with clients, it's one, being a creator, but if you want to be a creator that is your job, you have to go where it's commercially viable, you know. So I say to people all the time, like, it's fine creating the content you're passionate about, but if there's 3 topics you could talk about, identifying which one is the one that's going to make you money at the beginning might be a smart move. And that's like with me. I love gaming. So when you were talking about like you guys, like I was a mixer streamer, sadly. But like, Grant, when you were talking about Facebook and all of that, like that was my thing, and I love it. But I also knew that I had a certain skill set of being able to navigate this regulation, and these guys make a lot of money, and I have a skill they need, and so it was like when the decision, it's making that decision of like being a gamer, I probably would have had to still be a financial advisor, but being a but talking about that, I wouldn't have to.
I don't game anymore either because it's just not it's not very lucrative. There's so many. It's a saturated space, and it's really not. I think there's a way. I've been working on some things in the background, but I think it's just more around content. If you could manage good shows around gaming or good podcasts around gaming, I have a lot of industry contacts. I think that would work. I know, didn't you say, Chris, you actually were just playing games and selling stuff on Amazon at one point?
Yeah,
or I heard somebody was like,
I was just sitting there. I was sitting there playing Fortnite with other people, just like, hey, what's up, guys?
And people were buying stuff. So, there's all these different ways to skin a cat. So I think that's awesome. Just real quick, I want to poll everybody. So Strick and I, we started making money and we didn't even have a show yet. So how many followers do you have, like, say, on your largest channel? Subscribers or followers or however you want to?
On my largest channel, probably about 35 or 3,600 on my Instagram.
Okay. How about
on the
you,
one
Ash?
that actually makes me money, it's only 400. Just so you.
There you go. See, 400. There you
That's
go.
the Amazon Live,
How about you, Ash?
So podcasting is quite hard to say because it's just like odd all over the place. I can't really track that one the same way. But my largest one is LinkedIn. That's 13,000. Yeah, 13,000.
Oh, that's good. That's yeah.
But like I will say, I would caveat with that, like, a lot of those are dead followers because they were from a different era, a different niche. But I get all my business from those. Like I might get like, if you ever see, I get like maybe 10. I'm lucky if I get 10 likes on a live stream. But like but that 10 likes, I'll generate a lead from that. So it's about knowing what that platform's very good for business. It's terrible for everything else.
I can't get on it. I've been I think I get shot down about the 5th time, 6th time now.
You got to keep trying, Brent.
I tried. They even got it connected to a guy that works for LinkedIn, and he was just like, "Yeah, sorry."
It doesn't make sense. Like I had a client.
It doesn't make any sense.
I've got a client who's like got an incredible story. Like a cancer survivor, like really amazing story. And in the UK, she's very well known. They literally sent her a message saying, and she has a show, and they sent her a message. She did the pitch to it, and they were like, yeah, amazing, so inspiring. And the next email declined. She was like, what? Like, what was that about? And she's every time they're like, yeah, it's so inspiring. I love this message. Declined. I'm like, what? It doesn't make sense. They have no idea what they're doing over there, by the way. That platform is terrible.
The audience is great, but the platform is terrible. There's a gold mine there if they would just figure out how to let us work it.
They've done too many things. It's like they increased the character limit. I'm not a fan of the platform at all. They're like, oh, we'll increase the character limit. No, sorry. What we'll do is we'll create articles so you can blog. Okay, cool. But then what we're going to do is we're also going to increase the character limit to 3,000 characters so you can now write a blog in your post as well. And then it's like, oh, okay. Right. And now we're going to do, like, they just, what they're doing is it's just Microsoft doing its Microsoft thing, like they did with Mixer, where they just go, oh, that seems to work on other things. Let's just cram it in. And missing the point as to why it's working on the platform as opposed to the feature, So it's a funny place.
I think they could kill it. I think they could be the next big thing if they would just open up. I was paying $35 a month for LinkedIn. I canceled it because I couldn't get the video part. I'm like, if I'm paying for this, I'll pay the $35. Just let everybody that wants it have it and just see how it goes. That's what everybody else does. I don't know if they're Microsoft. They should be able to handle the traffic. Or the technology to handle the traffic, but maybe not. I don't know. So.
They only have so much time to figure it out before something else comes up and people move on.
I'm still waiting for Apple. Apple is the type, they sit there and watch and learn. I'm waiting for when they open up Apple TV for live streaming or streamers like us. I think that would be huge. Because they they're doing podcasts, and you can get paid, and you can do all that stuff on the audio side.
Subscribers and all
they
of
always
that.
lead. Yep, and they always lead with audio. They came out with the iPod, then it was video. So if that ever came out, I think that would be huge for people like us. Because we're all Mac users, Mac fans. I think that would, and if they even opened up and said, hey, you could get a percentage to talk about your Mac Mini, like Amazon is, I think they could clean up, but because they would make it a little more elegant. It'd be locked down a little bit, but it would be cool.
Well, you know how Amazon is able to do it, right? In their partnership with Twitch. They own Twitch.
Yeah, but the same problems they have with Twitch are the same problems they have with Amazon Live. It's the discovery part, and it does look awkward and backwards, and it's just kind of a pain to use. Even signing up for the affiliate program, and I try to do the video thing. It's like, yes, you're approved. No, you're not approved. And 2 different websites. One affiliate site. It's like all over the place. I just get frustrated and be like, just, make it work. But
it's shocking how every platform struggles with discoverability apart from YouTube. And YouTube has been around for so long. How can they not have figured it? I don't understand this. Like every other platform has terrible discoverability. Even TikTok, I like TikTok, but even TikTok, it's got good discoverability, but terrible search functions.
Yeah. The only thing that I like about, TikTok is just the thing right now, right? But one of the things I did notice that they did right off the bat, I've been to a couple of their business, seminars. They just open it up to business. You want to advertise on TikTok? You don't even have to have an account. Just make a business account, send us some money, and we'll put your ads up. I was like, well, that's smart. Now you gotta, don't sit there and wait till. The other thing I hate is this whole, if you get to 10,000, you can play with everybody. You know what? Just open it up. Just let people make. Because sometimes for me that's a barrier of entry that it's kind of disheartening, right? You're just like, I got good content. I can do this. I'm a pro. I've been doing it in TV for years. Strick's a pro, but I got to do it for 10,000 people until we can get to this next level. And I think that's a little ludicrous.
And by the time you get to 10,000 people, you don't need that next level.
Yeah.
Because if
Point
you do it
on my
right, man, you
WordPress
make that
blog.
money
But
up
it's
front,
like
right?
but it's like the live stream, like you guys are live streamers. That's what you do. And like TikTok's live streaming is very, very good. And in regards to, I think it's quite good for what they did, but it's behind a barrier of 1,000 followers, which is really annoying. Because like me, when I got TikTok, which kind of messed my account up, but I did a post just saying, please, can you get me to 1,000? And it went viral a couple of times, which got me to 1,000. All the wrong people, which was terrible.
Right.
But because I was like, I'll feel comfortable live. I'm happy like you guys. You could easily, not now, but go in live for do a show on there or be there. Like some people are better live than they are on these 15 seconds. I think I didn't like the fact that it's locked behind that, and also the links as well and stuff. There's a lot of stuff there, but that platform could blow everything wide open.
I think so
especially
too.
if they could Ecamm and Restream or something could integrate with those. So you could have guests and interviews and all that stuff, because I know Strick and I, that's the way we are. We're better live,
Much better live. Forget the editing. I hate editing.
Get the editing, man.
I came from an editing background. I can edit pretty fast, but I just don't like to edit. But I'm just like Ash. I did music theater. I like being in a crowd. I like being on stage. That's why I live stream. It's more fun when we have groups like this. You can all play off each other. So, it's great. And it is a challenge. We try Facebook because Facebook is a group. We do have groups, and it's funny because people say, don't do this, don't do Facebook, all this other stuff. But yet we all talk daily in a Facebook group or Facebook Messenger. So, I'm all in on Facebook sometimes, and some probably more sometimes than YouTube. But I understand that YouTube is, YouTube is if I'm going to fix something, I always go to YouTube.
Right.
3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why we do this show. How do you stream? These are the things that people are looking for. So,
Justin, someone said, sorry, go on.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes.
No, I remember listening to a podcast with Chris Doe, and he said about YouTube, the great way to think about YouTube is that it is just-in-time learning. And the way I thought that was like, okay, that's quite interesting, because with a podcast or with live shows, it's not, it's a community. So they come in the next week and and they come into the next show. But so that's where, like, I always think with my YouTube content, it is in sequence with everything else. But if could they just find this video and does it answer their question? Because that's where the traffic comes from on YouTube. And I'd never thought of it that way, because I think we think of it like a show. And he was like, no, that's the discoverability, is like,
just
how do I fix
learning.
this door? Or just in time learning.
I like that.
I do as well. That being said, guys, I don't want to hold you all night, Ash, because I know eventually you have to go to sleep. But as people are watching this today, and I'll start with you, Ash, how can they get connected with you and your brand coaching?
Yeah, so the best place to go is ashborland.com. So ashborland.com, and that'll link you to everywhere. There's coaching, consult, whatever it is.
Right.
It's consulting. And then all of the podcast links and everything there is all there as well. And yeah, I do a daily episode on every social media platform. So whichever one you want to consume it on, it's up to you.
I love it. How about you, Chris? How can people catch you on Amazon Live and buy a whole bunch of stuff?
For sure. My bad.
That's
so
okay.
Amazon Live, Tech Talk with Chris.live. That'll take you right there. So you'll see all the past live streams and all that. Find me on social media at Chris P. Giles 1. Everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff. Connect there.
Now, I see you on Clubhouse all the time. How about that? Is it something that you're doing for Amazon Live, or you said earlier you were working with another guy?
So that's it, man. That was even a accidental side thing, man. That's a business coach guy that I just happened to meet through another connect through Monty. Met him.
Wow.
And I just honestly came in this episode, and that's just doing the tech thing, man. It gives me the feel. Honestly, back in the day, I wanted to be on radio, and just kind of getting up every day at 6:30, 6:45, jumping on here with him is like just my fun thing to feel like I'm doing a radio show, So
I love it.
yeah,
I love
awesome.
it. I love it. Well, guys, thank you so very much for hanging out with us today and showing us your setup. As people are watching, please go find them on YouTube, find them on LinkedIn, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, and like them and follow them and share them. Is that what I'm supposed to say, Brent? I don't even know.
Yep. Share,
all the
like. Smash that like button.
Right.
No,
right,
just
right.
if you go give them a little love, check them out. If they can help you out, I'm sure they've got something that can help you out for marketing and branding with Ash, or Chris can help you on that Amazon Live and also the production he does for other people, virtual production. So, I really appreciate you guys coming on board. Thank you very much.
Hey, guys, hold what you got. I want to do this one thing and wrap up with Brent. Brent, man, we've had Kathy in the comments all day talking to us, and I hadn't said a thing, but YouTube has become her go-to source for learning and entertainment. For me, too, I watch a little bit too much YouTube, and she said love ideas of just-in-time learning. So thank you, Kathy, for hanging out with us tonight. And everybody else that's watched, thank you all so very much.
Hey, I just wanted to say one more thing. Thank you very much, Strick, for all you do, and let everybody know that this is going to be our last show for the summer. We're going to take a small break to enjoy some time with our families, do some redos on our sets, and fix some wires, kind of rest and reflect. And I guess we'll come back probably after school starts in the fall, right?
Can I show you something in my set real quick before we leave?
Yeah.
I'm just going to try to pan over just a little bit.
Oh, there you go. The big screen
see
TV.
that?
I knew that. Yep.
I've been doing some work in here.
Yep, I got some work to do here. We got to, so we got to take a little break and kind of work on our sets and copy from all that good stuff we've been learning from all these people who've been on our show, right?
I'm going to get Ash's webcams and see if I can make them work in my setup.
There you go. That'll work. I'm just going to go smoke and drink whiskey and see if I can talk like Ash.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. I'm Strick. He's Brent.
And I'm Brent.
We are the Stream guys from the Stream Show. And what do we do, Brent?
We help streamers succeed.
That's it, man. It's really that simple. Thank y'all.